Hello everyone, welcome back. In my last video we discussed about the feature control. We defined the feature control in our behavior definition, but for the dynamic feature control we have to do some implementation to work them. So without wasting the time, let's jump into the system. We'll do the dynamic feature control implementation. In my last video we have defined the dynamic feature control for the actions, for the accept travel and reject travel, and for the association as well in the travel entity. First we will do the implementation of the feature control for the travel, then we will do for the booking. So let's we will go into the our behavior pool classes, where we have defined our feature control method. As I told you in my last video, we have the 4 instance feature method in the behavior pool. There we will implement the feature control. So you can see we are importing here keys, where basically if you see the structure of the keys, we will be having the travel ID. Basically that is the key of our business object, and this will be available not only directly through the field, through the component groups also, transactional key or normal key or the PKY. These are the keys are available, and based on the keys we have to read the data either from the transactional buffer or from the database wherever it is available, based on the creation. If it is in draft scenario, sometimes it is available in the draft table as well. In the normal scenario it will be available in the database. So we have to read the data, and once we read the status, the travel status, and what we can say travel status, once we read, based on that we have to decide we have to enable the accept and reject travel button or not. That we will pass in result. So you can see requested feature code, we can see first importing parameter, and we have the additional importing parameter called the requested feature. So if you do the requested features, what all are the features requested by this particular method or by user, there are the 3 features we have defined: accept travel, reject travel, and the booking. That also we can see here. And last thing, we have to pass the result. That result we have to pass here. We have to fill the first our transactional ID, or we can say key field, or we want to enable these all the actions and or we can say features. We want to enable this particular feature or not for that particular instance which we have defined. For accept travel we want to enable or disable. Based on the status we will write the programmatically, dynamically, and we will enable and disable these particular features. So let's go in the implementation part. As of now there is no implementation. We will do the implementation. As I told you, in the importing parameter we have the key field. So we'll try to read this particular travel taken using this key. So just we have to write the simple read statement which we have learned in my previous video. So what I will do to do little bit go up, so I will do like this. So in this case I can use read entities op. Also you can use the multiples, what we can say, read option with the multiple entities, or you can single read also. Let me use this only, multiple entities. Anyway I'm using the I want to read only the single entity. You want to use the single entity variant, that also you can use. Here you have to specify entity, which entity you want to read. As of now I want to read the travel taken, and when I am reading this fields, so what I want to do, I don't want to get the entire data, just I want the status. Based on the status I will enable and disable the accept travel, reject, or I will allow user to create the booking for that particular travel, for that particular. So that is the reason I will define here fields. So I will be needing only 2 fields. First is the travel ID, travel control space, travel ID, and second field I will be needing the overall status. These 2 fields I will be needing, and based on what I want to pass the key field, so that I have to pass, as I mentioned, we have to pass the table. So we have to pass in the width, and corresponding we can pass. We have the already all the key fields in the keys table. You can see in the keys, corresponding keys I can pass here. Basically corresponding also like value operator, corresponding also the constructor operator. which will create any table. So instead of passing value operator, I am passing the corresponding operator to create the table. So that you can do. So this is, if you don't know what is the corresponding value operator, I already created the playlist this on the new video series, that it will be helpful. So with corresponding keys I can use this one, and I want to get the result also. So result data, I will declare inline one table lt underscore travel, or you can get the failed structure if this travel ID is not available, and based on that you will display the error also. One more important thing, since we are writing the code in the same BO, so we have to use in local mode as we did for the previous also. So this is how we have to read the entities. So this is the reading part. Now based on this status, I want to fill my result tab. If you see what all are the features, you can see requested feature we can see here, but in the result tab you see the result tab derived type. So we have to fill this structure along with the travel ID. We have to fill the accept travel and booking. So if you want to enable, then you have to pass the enable, or if you want to disable, if you have to pass the flag as a disable. That's it. So it's a very simple code we have to write. So what I will do, I will fill the result tab. So in this case result, I want to fill value operator, I will use inline. So in this case there might be scenario we will be getting the multiple keys over here. So you want to enable or disable that particular action with the for the multiple entities. In that case you have to handle, so we have to loop through this table. For example, we got the multiple keys, and always you try to implement each and every BO. In that sense it can be even we are in the front end, we are calling one by one entity, but we have to implement like that. It can be called with the multiple keys as well. So like that we have to implement. So in this case we have to loop through the travel table to get the status one by one, and based on that enable and disable the actions accept and reject feature what we can say action. One of them we have to enable, one of them we have to disable based on the what is the current status of the overall status. So for that I have to loop through this table, and I have to create the work area for ls travel in lt underscore travel, not keys, lt control space you will do lt underscore travel. Again it will construct one table. So what I will do, let me do enter. So it will be like this dot. So in the for loop I will construct one table. So if you do control space, what you want to pass, first you want to pass the key field. As I told you, in the result tab we have the key field, so always try to use the transactional key. It will transactional key component group, that will be very helpful. You can pass the corresponding transactional key from travel, control C, control V. It will have almost all the component if you are working with draft also and non-draft scenario also. If you are sure you are working with the draft, non-draft scenario, you can use key as well, or directly travel ID as well, as per your convenient. So percentage TKY I will use here as well. And second thing, now we have to pass the features. So second component of the result, if you see the F2 over here, you can see we have the travel ID which we have filled through the TKY derived type. There is one, only the travel ID field is there, not derived type, TKY component group. We have filled the travel ID. Now I have to fill these all are the features. So I can fill through the component group feature, or directly you can access these fields, but better to access through this particular component group always. So it is always easy. So let me access through the particular component group, control space, features I want to fill. Features also, what feature I want to fill? I want to fill first action. What action? Accept travel I want to fill, and I want to enable or disable, but here I want to based on some condition. If it is already accepted, then only I want to disable it, otherwise I want to enable it. So for that I have to use conditional operator, inline cond we have to use, and we have to see when this particular ls travel, control C, overall status, control V, overall status is equal to already accepted. Suppose it is already accepted, I hope you can see. Let me minimize, this is not required. If it is already accepted, then what we have to do? We have to enter. Then I want to then this particular value should be come from we can use the as usual the global interface to access those values. In this case this is function, so we have to use fc, and in this case we are doing operation. What we want to do, enable or disable, so options we can give, and in this case I want to disable. So if it is already accepted, I want to disable it, else what I want to do, I want to enable it. This is the simple thing we have to do. Control C, Control V. So enable, we have to use enable. So like in the same way, what I can do, this is how we have to fill one by one all the fields. In the same way, I can just select this one, Controls Alt arrow down button. Instead of accept travel, I have to do this time reject travel, and in this case I have to check if it is already rejected. Already rejected means it should be R, I think so, or X. I have to check the value actually, or all status field value. You can check from here as well. F2 you can do overall status, the values, what all are the values are available. X accepted A and rejected cancelled is X. We have to use X basically. If it is already rejected or cancelled, we can say then I want to disable it, otherwise I want to enable it. So features accept and reject we have done. Now we have to fill the create by association feature also. If it is already rejected that particular travel instance, I don't want to create booking for that particular travel instance. That also I have to fill. So that also I can do almost similar like thing, Control Alt arrow down button, but this time instead of action I have something else feature that is called association. In association we don't have anything. This is the association booking we have to use. Booking, this should be enabled or disabled. If it is overall status is cancelled, then you will do disabled, otherwise you can enable. Like that we can use the all three feature control which we have defined the dynamically in our behavior definition. You can see first is action, feature instance. These all are the feature related to particular instance, and that we have implemented for travel. Let me activate Control F3. So this is how, this is the very simple programming. Just you have to read and you have to flag the you have to fill the result tab. That's it. Now in same way, what we will do, we will implement for the booking as well. So booking, what all are the feature control we have defined? We have only one feature control, that is create by association, that we will quickly do in the booking behavior pool class. Control click you can do first. Before going to that, Control F3 we can do here. This is Control unlock. I don't want to change anything, and let me go to booking class. Control click, it will open booking class. I have already defined that get instance feature method, so let me go to that particular method. Same way, whatever we have written, we have to read this time booking entity. Control C, almost similar code but little bit differences are there. We will just quickly do, but this time we have to read by association. Read entities, entity backward slash control space, read by association we have to use, entity by we have to use, sorry, by control space booking. And fields, in this case booking we have different field. Status, booking status field is there, and corresponding to the keys and to LT underscore booking we can say LT underscore booking, or read by association booking we can say. So if you see here, F2 over here, same key fields are there, but this time key fields we have travel ID and booking ID both instead of alone travel ID. So again I can use the transaction key ID, and in the result tab if you see F2, only we have the one feature control called the association. Other feature control is not available. So what we will do, in this case I will loop through Control C, similarly Control V, LT booking, ls booking. So just control C, this time ls booking key, we have to pass transactional key, and these two are not available anyway, accept and travel for the booking entity, but we have association, but the association is booking supplement, not booking, I think so, booking supplement. And if it is ls travel, I have to use ls booking here, control V, and status, booking status. Again the values you can see, it is F2 here. If it is already booked, then if it is cancelled, we have to use here X. If it is cancelled, then we have to disable create by we have to disable this particular bookings to create the booking supplement. If it is booking is cancelled, why we have to create the booking supplement? Otherwise we have to enable. It's a simple code, shift F1 and control F3. So now we have implemented. Just now let's see quickly preview. Before seeing the preview, just what we can do, we can put some breakpoint, so it will work or not. I'm not to see that. Control unlock. No, I don't want to save anything. Let's put one breakpoint on the booking pool class of the get instance feature, and here also I can put one breakpoint for the travel also. And one breakpoint I can check, put in the authorization check, so to make sure it is triggering or not. Okay, and now I have to go, I can go to the first processor app. We have two service binding, one for the approver and one for the processor. Let's see the approver app first. So we can just open the approver app and travel preview. Once we preview it, and once we click on go button, it should trigger the authority check method, and we have the debugger got triggered successfully. Let me do F8. So you can see get instance features method got triggered before displaying all the records. So here I have the key fields, the first the get instance method of the travel entity. So in this case all the key fields are I have. You can see all the travel IDs whichever we are displaying, in this case 20 travel ID. When we scroll down, then next 20 IDs also will come and the get instance feature will be called. I'm doing F5. So that is the reason we have implemented with the multiple entity, because in the front end when you are displaying first time itself, that time we all the you want to display for each instance accept and reject travel instance. Based on this only it will be displayed. So let me do so it will be enabled and disabled based on each travel ID. So in this case I got the LT travel, what I got. So in the keys we have that key field. For all the key fields I have got the status only. So you can say we have accepted also, we have open also. We don't have as of now any rejected, but we got all the we can say we got all the status. So F6 I will do, and I will fill the result tab which is currently blank, F6. So if you see in the result tab, it is the again we have the actions also and we have the associations also. If you open the action, one of the action, and you can see for the accept travel it is 01 and reject travel is 00, means it 00 means it will be enabled, and accept travel, since it is already accepted, it is 01. Instead of using this ABAP behave, you can use 00 and 01 as well. Let me do F8. So you can see it got terminated. I can see accepted travel. For example, if something is not already rejected, if I select this one, you can see only the reject travel button is enabled. If I select this one, both the accept and reject travel enabled. If I select both in three, then you can see all are enabled, because two of them open. So if I remove this opened one, then reject is enabled and accept is disabled. So let me see some travel ID. So again you can see each time whenever you're calling, it is triggering that get instance method and reading the data from backend for the entities which we are displaying currently. In this case, since I did descending order, so all are the latest one. So I want to see some of them rejected one. You can see one of them 4206 is rejected. So F8, and you can see 4206 is rejected. If I select this one, accept travel button only enable. Not only here, if you go inside, only which buttons here also same thing will happen. Again it is calling the, I think, get authority check method. And one more thing, it is calling again inside in the travel this particular keys again to enable and disable the accept and travel, accept and reject button. In this case we only have the one instance which is rejected, so accept travel button will be enabled, and this will no impact because we are not using the create by association in the approver app, because we have that, we in the behavior definition we didn't enable this option. Let me do F8, and now see, you can see now we don't have any button, we don't have, you can see we have only accept travel button because it is already rejected. If I open anything which is already accepted, which will be having the rejected button only. On each time it will call the when you go inside booking, it will get instance feature method will be called, and based on this one you can see in this time reject travel. Let me click on reject travel, let me do F8, 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 F8. You can see now since we have rejected, now it is rejected, so accept travel button is enabled, so it is flipping like that. And if you come back 4208, you can see if I select this one, accept travel is enabled because it is already rejected. If anything is open, both are enabled. So like that is it will work, this dynamic feature control for the approver app. Now we can check the dynamic feature control for the processor app as well. To see that one, just simply go to ABAP perspective, and this time instead of approver we will display the processor app. In the processor app we have the, oh one second, I have to descending order, travel take up, preview, root entity you have to preview basically. Click on go button, again debugger got triggered. Let me remove the breakpoint from at least get instance authorization method. Let me do F8. So this time no feature control got called because we don't have accept and travel on the travel entity. We don't have any, what we can say, we don't have any action button because we didn't enable those action button. For those action button, the travel what we can say feature control didn't get called. But if I click one of the travel instance, so you can see, let me open here, since it is accepted, so let me open this one. This time you can say feature control got called, but this time the feature control from the travel instance, if I do F5 and I got it is accepted, so it will be I think this booking association create will be enabled for this one. Let me do F8. So if you see, create is enabled. If I go for the some rejected entity, let me do, this is descending order, something rejected. So suppose I want to go for this rejected one. In this case, again breakpoint got triggered. Let me do F8. You can see create option is disabled for this booking because this is already rejected. So that is the reason the create option for this particular booking is disabled. So like that you can enable, disable each, and this time when you open the booking supplement, it calls the get instance feature method of the booking class. So in this case I am just getting the, if it is already booked, then only, if it is rejected then I am disabling the booking. The booking is rejected, booking status is rejected. If I do F5 and I will see the LT booking. Oh, I did one little mistake here, but still we are getting key field. At least we will get all the key field. Even you didn't mention, I have to at least mention all the key field, but here I am getting all the key field, even I don't mention in the field list, but it is rejected. If it is rejected, booking status is X, means it is rejected. The booking supplement creation will be not enabled for this. You can see we don't have any option to create booking supplement anyway, since it is cancelled, booking is cancelled. And in another way, if I open any other booking, Okay, let me disable this breakpoint. You can disable from here all the breakpoint, F8, and come here. In this case, create status is enabled because booking status is still open, and you can no, travel status is open, but I want to see some of them multiple. Let me ascending order. Let me see first travel. I have multiple bookings. You can see status as well here. Okay, here everything is new. Not an issue. For everything is new, then I will be able to create the booking supplement also. Suppose instead of new, it is already cancelled. Let me click on save button. But as of now, it will not change immediately here, but when you reload the application, that time it will change, not now. So if you click on go button, again I will open first instance. One of them already rejected. You can see this is cancelled. If I click here, this booking, I'm not able to create booking supplement for this. If I come back, the second I am able to create, since it is new, booking status is new. So in that way we can use the feature control to enable and disable the creation of the child entity based on the parent entity status. In this video we have learned about the feature control. So we have successfully implemented the feature control and we saw the result as well. In my next video we'll start the validation. As you saw in my previous video, we make some of the field mandatory, we are not getting error on save even we don't enter those fields. So now we will write the code for those field validation. If some user will not enter some value or some user will enter wrong value, that time we should give some error. That we will do in the validation. Before going to next video of validation, please like this video, share these videos with others as well, and whatever you're feeling, write it down in comment section. With that, thank you and happy learning.